Hey, this is Tom Nash, and I know a lot of you are concerned, a lot of you are anxious, and all of you are extremely curious as to what's going on with a certain stock called Palantir. The stock is down today, depending on which time of day you looked at, but it is down a lot. Now, the reason that it is down, and I'm going to give it away right now in the beginning of the video, number one, because I respect your time, and number two, because I want to educate as many people as I can before they leave off this video. So don't click nothing, don't smash nothing, don't buy nothing, just listen. What we have right now is a mixture of a few things that are causing this, and they're quite common in the stock market, even though it may not feel like it. I know we haven't seen a lot of that over the past 2 years since 2023 because we have essentially been living in stock market la-la land. Everything just goes up for 2 years nonstop. And right now, what we have is normal market behavior. As it pertains to Palantir, what we have is something that's quite normal. We have profit taking after a long spike. And on top of that, we had a short seller tweet or post something on X saying that the stock should be valued at a lot less. But whatever the case may be, everything I just said right now is either sentiment or short-term noise. If you look across the board, nothing happened with the company fundamentally that could have impacted the share price. Sometimes a company would release some sort of an update. Maybe the CEO is leaving. Maybe they lost a huge contract. Something that happens that fundamentally impacts the ability of the company to be profitable, to generate cash flow, right? Nothing happened with Palantir. What you have is profit taking and a little bit of negative sentiment, negative noise. Now, basically from what I gather, we have a short seller saying that because OpenAI is worth $500 billion, then Palantir should be trading at about $40 per share. And everybody basically took it as a good sign to start taking profits. Now, I'm not against taking profits at all. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I will say that, in 2016, actually on December 28, 2016, about 9 years ago, we had the same short seller, Citron Research, post on CNBC saying that NVIDIA is overvalued and that it should come down in price, etc., etc. And that's a fair perspective to share. I'm not hating on Citron Research, and it's definitely within their right to post their opinion about stocks. I don't mind. Whatever happened in 2016, 2017, I don't know. But the one thing I know that once this tweet came out in 2016, December 28th, 2016, since that tweet to current time, NVIDIA share went up 100x, almost 100x. Now, the stock maybe dropped or plummeted and maybe it didn't. I don't know. I didn't check what happened on that particular day or that particular week or that particular month. But all I'm saying is that you have always negativity. You would always have, short sellers saying that this is a bad stock. Bears who are saying that it's overvalued. There's always going to be some noise, right? But that noise is short term. Over the long haul, if the company has very, very strong fundamentals, and no doubt NVIDIA had some very strong fundamentals, right? The fundamentals beat out the noise. So if you just ignore that statement back in 2016 and just held NVIDIA for the next 9 years, you have 100x your money. Not bad, right? And again, no hate to Citron Research. I honestly don't mind. I think we're all entitled to our opinions and we shouldn't be living in an echo chamber. And also, I didn't think they said anything disrespectful. It's within their right to think that the stock is overvalued, right? But as a long-term investor, I'm never going to base my investing decisions based on what other people think about the stock, with no offense to said other people. Now, I'm the first to say that short-term, the stock price right now may be overvalued, may be overhyped. The valuation right now is absolutely wild. I've been on record saying this multiple times. In fact, I've been saying that if you are sitting on a huge amount of profits with Palantir, now, in a week ago, and 2 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago, for about a month, I've been saying, hey, this is a good time to trim a little bit. If you've made a lot of money on Palantir, this is a good time to trim and secure some money just in case as an insurance policy. And of course, the soy boys on social media were angry at me for saying that, saying, well, Tom, the stock has went up a lot since you said this. You said this back in the 90s, in the 100, 110, 120. Because this is about a principle. The principle is if a stock is richly valued and if there's a insane valuation and you're up a lot, it's just common sense to trim a little bit and buy some insurance. Why not? And in the case of Palantir, I've been on record in getting some hate that's saying, hey, not a bad idea. Now, I never thought we'd be at almost $200 in 2025 with the stock price. I'm not going to pretend like I knew this is coming this year. I always say it's a $500 stock. I now think it's probably a $1,000 stock, but I have nothing but patience. I think in 2025, it's a little bit premature, but eventually the stock is going to catch up to that valuation. But just like we had back in February, in February, Palantir dropped 50% and then it recovered. It's a very volatile stock. Now it's down 7%. Well, it's up 400% over the past year. It's up 1,600% over the past 5 years. No stock in the world just goes up endlessly in a parabolic spike. All stocks correct, and Palantir is part of it. Is it going to drop another 7%? I don't know. Is it going to drop another 17%? I don't know. Is it going to drop another 70%? I don't know. Is it going to go up another 70%? I don't know. I'm not here to predict and time the market. Now, just as today's noise is coming out, today Palantir announced they just signed a new deal with Fujitsu for $100 million. Of course, that got drowned out in noise because who cares about fundamentals when you have drama, right? And of course, social media is flooded with all the haters of Palantir who needed the win desperately because they've had a really tough year. So now that Palantir is down finally for a day, they're celebrating all over social media, and let them. I honestly don't mind. It's actually very entertaining and spicy. I love it. I think that Wall Street is going to join the bandwagon as long as Palantir is in the red because they don't understand it. And they've never understood it, and that's fine. By the time Wall Street gets Palantir, it's going to be too late, just like they did with NVIDIA, right? I think that Palantir is on a very, very short list of a very few companies that are elite, that are game-changing. Not a lot of these companies out there, and I think Palantir is priced accordingly. Now, I've always ignored the share price when it was $6, when it was $60, and when it was $190. I never paid attention to the share price. I'm not about to start now to do exactly that. If you look at Palantir, we have a company that essentially is 10 times better than any of the alternatives in the market. It solves issues in seconds that used to take weeks. It cleans absolutely horrendous, messy enterprise data. It works with multiple AI models. It is compliant with every permission aspect you can think of every audit. It has 20 years of top-notch design that is impossible to copy, and it essentially thrives when everybody else fails, which is very, very complex, high compliance, high stress environments. And it's perfectly suited for the AI boom we're seeing right now. Now, we have the US commercial of Palantir in Q2. We just saw deals go up 93%. But bootcamps converting people in weeks, sometimes in months. We got the first billion-dollar quarter in history just a couple of days ago, in the earnings. Full year growth expected almost 50%. We're essentially looking Palantir build a monopoly, which is exactly what Peter Thiel said in 2017 they're going to do. They dominated the defense sector. Now they're dominating the commercial sector, and they cannot be caught. We have 160 deals they've closed in the Q2 earnings of $1 million. You have the NHS deal, that's like 300 million pounds. The US Army deal, that's a $10 billion agreement. Maven is almost $1 billion. Got government growing at 50%. US commercial remaining deal value just grew 150%. You've got clients like Airbus, BP, Hyundai, AARP. Just name the agnosticness of Palantir, and you see it fits in every industry. Net dollar retention is 130%. They've got the best team, the best employees, the best management. The distribution system is insane. There's nothing out there like AIP. We've got conversion basically almost instantaneously. You come in as a client, as a potential client, and within a week you have a working system that you can actually see how it completely transforms the way you do business. It gets stronger and stickier every year. Clients can't leave. That's why the top 20 clients keep spending more and more and more every year. There's no switching off of Palantir IP. It is the operating system of the AI industry. Just like NVIDIA is with hardware, Palantir is with software. And that's why both of them will be priced at a premium. Palantir is a little bit earlier than NVIDIA in the cycle, but that's fine. We have patience, right? And I think that Palantir is just getting started. It doesn't mean we can't see Palantir at $50 per share, $20 per share. I don't know, and I don't care. The only thing I care about is one thing: understanding the risks of the company, not thinking I have a shoe in here, right? There's no guarantees in life except death and taxes. Palantir can go to zero. We have an extremely high valuation. We have execution risk. We have regulatory risk. We have a lot of client concentration here. So there are risks with Palantir, but even though it's not a sure thing, I really like the setup. I think that Palantir is just getting started. I think that this is the best picks and shovels play in AI except NVIDIA and hardware. This is the one in software. I love it. And if it drops and collapses, that's an opportunity for me to bring down my cost. I'm going to be celebrating that because I'm here for the long haul, not here to swing trade. If it doesn't, if it keeps going up, I'm just going to slowly DCA and wait for my time. Now, we just had a lady who posted this on our Discord community, Helena, and she's been with us since 2021 in the Academy. And you can pause and read this, but essentially it's one of the most inspiring stories we've ever heard in the Academy. A woman that spent the last 4 years doing things right and completely changed and transformed her life, and I'm absolutely proud of her. Couldn't be more proud. And shout out to Helena. I wanted to highlight you in this video. Thank you so much. Relax, breathe. Everything will be fine. I'll see you in the next one.